seconds.
Okay.
Okay, great. We are stand by.
Wow. Now we are live. Welcome once again today. This is Dar Setro, and I'm welcoming you to this wonderful podcast in which we shall be talking about matters that relate to the youth in Africa and the globe entirely. Tonight, we are not just talking the talk, but we are talking about looking through those that are actually walking the talk. Today, I have some guests in the house, and they are going to be exposing us to what they have been doing amidst youth in Africa. Specifically, large chunk of these youth are coming from Nigeria, whereas we have this little challenge globally based on numerous knowledge expansion and latest discovery and the likes of that. We have a challenge at hand in which we are beginning to ask ourselves this question: is it the traditional school that we should be focusing on, or the skill aspect of this youth developmental progress? Or is there any provision whereby we can have both synchronized together so that we can have those that are actually meant to be in the four walls of the academia to be there, while those that are not supposed to be in the formal traditional system of education to be somewhere else where they can actually be properly taken care of? Okay, today we are going to delve in. I'm going to have my guests introduce themselves before we go into the nitty gritty of our discussion today. So if you are joining us now, we want to say thank you for joining us. Don't forget to leave a like and share this video so that more people can get to see this podcast. Okay, now I have some interesting persons with me. Please, can we start with the lady in the house first, Madam Oluwakemi? Am I getting that? Did I get the pronunciation? Oluwatoba.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Please, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, Kemi Oluwatoba, a tutor, a researcher, and the executive administrator of Nehemiah Prodigy Foundation. Yeah.
Okay. Let's ring a bell for you.
Thank you.
It's an honor having you here, and I will still come back to you. From the
No problem.
introduction, I have loads of questions for you. I thank God that you work with students. Am I right? You work
Yes,
with
I do.
students. So get ready for loads of questions from viewers and from myself.
No
Okay.
problem.
I think I heard that someone just coming in on the background. Before we go to Ambassador Joseph Adewale, let me just check. I think somebody just joined the back end of the studio. Okay, I have Mr. Emmanuel. Welcome on board, Mr. Emmanuel. Okay, I'm expecting Dr. Ojo on this stream tonight. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, can you unmute yourself because we want to hear you? We want you to introduce
Yes,
yourself tonight.
good evening, sir. My name is Emmanuel Adewale.
Whoa. Okay. What do you
I
do? Okay.
yes, I do a couple of things, but I'm on the Nehemiah Prodigy project, the NGO Nehemiah Prodigy. So I'm on the board, and we do both the called the operations and then the board activities as well.
Oh, it's nice meeting with you, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Now,
you so much, sir.
okay, sir. So let me ring a bell for you. You are welcome on board.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
Mr. Joseph, Ambassador Joseph, over to you now. brief introduction of yourself.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Setro. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I tried to message him, and I sent his name, and let me not, let me not talk about that funny. When he sent the correction back to me, I felt I felt like what's wrong with me? Apparently I was driving when I sent that message. So,
Well,
that's why I stood out before I called Setro. I wanted to be sure I'm getting it right. So thank you for having me here and having my people. My name is Ambassador Joseph Olalua Dewole. I'm the president of the Nehemiah Protege Foundation. But we now, by means of our registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission, we are now JIF, meaning Joseph Adewale Youth Empowerment Foundation, because the government refused to give us the name Nehemiah Protege when we were registering. But because within the educational framework in Lagos State, Nehemiah Protege Foundation have become a household name, it was not easy for us to dump that name. So that's why in every of our publicity materials and profiles, you will always see Nehemiah Protege Foundation, um, now known as Joseph Adebole Youth Empowerment Foundation. And by the way, Mr. Emmanuel Adebole is also an educator. He's an erudite educator too. He's an authority as well as a preacher. He's a pastor, right?
whoa.
And Lady Kemi Oluwakemi Oluwatoba is our admin executive, like she said. She's a bookworm, right?
Whoa.
I'd rather not put her on the spot. Otherwise, I I would not tell you that she's in South Africa now doing her PhD. But no, I didn't tell you that, right?
I didn't.
But she's a bookworm, Sha. You didn't hear it. Thank you for not hearing it, right? And Mr. Emmanuel Adewale is one of our board of trustee members, and he does quite a number of things at the foundation. And when there is an aspect of our works where we bring in religion, on the larger scale, we don't do religion because it's a secular space that we cover. We go to all the schools in Lagos State where in a typical school setting, you have Christians, Muslims, some traditional worshippers. So we keep it that way. But whenever the need arises for us to bring students together as Christians, yeah, Pastor Emmanuel Adewale is on hand for all of that, besides the other work she does at the foundation. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so very much for that introduction. So we have someone in the building that is well known to us. He's no other person than Dr. Ojo, Job Ojo. Over to you, sir. And for Ambassador, this is your bell.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, Dr. Ojo, you have the floor now. Okay. It's like our African people have gotten to Dr. Ojo's mic.
We don't go
can't.
green.
Okay. Kindly try to. I think you are muted already. Maybe your connection is just what you need to check on. Okay, we'll get back to you, but let's quickly start because we just have roughly an hour on today's podcast. Now, with,
Great.
with respect to the topic of today, Dr. Joe, is your mic on now? With respect to the topic of today, I think Africans should be asking themselves this question: is it Harvard or business? Is it skill? And as God will have it, someone amidst us that are online today is actually doing a PhD somewhere. So just like as if I'm a prophet, I told her that we are going to deliver some questions for her to unravel to us. So, madam, kindly get prepared because we are coming towards your side with numerous questions. Now, based on the fact that what we have in our current world is the movement away from the normal norms of life with respect to working in a corporate environment, the likes of them, the world of engagement of either you or anyone is moving, is shifting away from this the normal 9 to 5 job function into what skills that AI might not be able to take away from us. So let's start with this question. Which would you consider as the most important? Is it skill or learning in the traditional four walls of the academia? Who wants to go first? As the moderator of today, I think I'll be starting with, you already know who I'm going to mention. Okay, the madam that is smiling. So you know yourself already. Over to you.
Interesting.
All right. You asked which is more important, the traditional form of education where you have to stay in the four walls of school, and skill, especially because of the labor market. Which one is more helpful? I would say that the two actually go hand in hand. Now, I believe that our system of education, especially in our home country, has failed in some aspect. I think that is why we are having this question in the first place. We are now beginning to question, is education really that relevant? Is it going to put food on the table? But it should actually put food on the table if the system works. Schools, I know that at some point the Nigerian curriculum added art and craft to the curriculum. They added a couple of entrepreneurial skill providing subjects to the curriculum, but does it still work? I wouldn't want to favor skill over education because the school is a form of social gathering where we learn how to deal with people from different backgrounds. It might not give us the daily bread, but it actually also provide other form of education that we probably haven't been paying attention to. You are meeting people from different tribes, people from different culture. It is this interconnectivity that actually shapes you into whom you become in the future as you go into the labor force. So I can't favor skill over education. I would rather say that those in the sector of power should actually marry these two together so that we won't have to ask this question in the first place. But then again, if I have to say which one is more important, it is still skill, because your certificate will not give you food eventually, especially when there are lots of people who are still unemployed in the society. Yeah.
You're
Your mic is
muted.
muted.
You're muted.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mrs. Oluwatoba, for that
Thank you.
powerful rendition. But let me put it to you in this court of law that what you have said that that school is actually needed. Are you trying to tell me that when you go for skills, are you not going to meet people there? Are you not going to still interact with people there? Are people from other background not coming in?
Okay, so I get your point, but skill is monotonous in this sense. If I want to learn welding, You're going to teach me everything that has to do with iron, everything that has to do with handling this the machines, bending the iron, making gates. It is monotonous. But the school is going to provide you with other aspects. You're learning calculation, you're learning English, you're learning history, you're learning geography. We might not see it in the light of having a straight direction to, making money, but it actually exposes you to other forms. Yes, you meet people when you're learning skill, but it's still monotonous. School opens your mind to other aspects of life if the system is working anyway.
Okay. But I can also put it, I want someone to rescue her out because the monotonous you are still talking about here, if you are going to the school, you are not going to study every courses available in the varsity. You are going to pick a particular aspect that relates to your field. And the same goes for, can someone try to mute and get a background interface somewhere? Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I'm suspecting where that is coming from. Okay, so when you are going to school, you are still going to have the same experience coming to place because you are not going to be studying almost everything. You are going to be concentrating on one. And you, as a doctor, I'm sure you are actually going to have your doctoral degree in a specific field. So now, don't you think that somebody that discovers him or herself early in life that this is what I want to study in terms of skill and goes for it, he or she we have what we call the ability to come out as a more specialized person from the beginning instead of going to study the y the x that you are not going to ever use. What's your
Okay,
take?
if I if I may if,
Okay.
if I may say something there,
Okay.
am I admitted to say something?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think that you and Ms. Oluwakemi, very soon we'll call her Dr. Oluwakemi. I think you're actually saying the same thing. You see, it's just that our society is one where there is conflict of interest, whereas different organs and agencies of government who administer our educational processes most of the times have personal agenda, and some of them, because they lack capacity, when anybody comes up with initiative to make these things work, they frustrate them. And I'm saying these from the point of knowledge that I have as a stakeholder. I may not say quite the number of things here, but I have had feedback, I've had reports that suggest that most of the time there are curriculum processes that were engaged but did not see the light of day that would have established a system where skill acquisition will be directly married into the curriculum such that whilst the student does the academics, they do skill acquisition at the same time. It may interest you to know that in China, even students in pre-primary cadres are already learning skills. It is state law. I mean, they can't miss it. And for those who have traveled, you will agree with me that in places like the United States, in Canada, in Australia, I've had these, because we try to consult for some organizations who does international students admission. And we have come to realize that in these places, rather than, whilst they appreciate the degree courses, what really sells in the market is what they call apprenticeship. Apprenticeship meaning that it's those who have skills that get the jobs, while those who go for the degree wait for the white collar. And that's what Miss Oluwaken was saying earlier. Why the labor market in Nigeria is not permissible to new people coming to join the market, because those on the queue have not even found a spot, let alone those who are coming. And so she said that skill, therefore, will take priority to a larger extent, because if you have skills, put food on the table. So what we need to do a as a nation, as a people, is to do all it takes to ensure that our curriculum is skill friendly, such that while our young people go to school, while they do the academics, they can also learn skills. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much, sir. Now, they said somebody that wanted to fry now walk towards the fire. Ambassador,
Yes.
the question now, since you have exposed yourself, the question now is if skills and the formal education is what we are actually looking at today, and asking ourselves this question, that with the way the world is going.
The line is breaking. Your line is breaking. Your
Okay,
line is breaking. I missed some of the things you said. Can you go over it, please?
okay. Am I clear now? Am I loud and clear now?
Hopefully.
Okay, let me do something. What about now?
Yeah,
Can
when you get talking,
okay.
we will know.
Okay. So the question now is,
It's still breaking, but it's
it's still breaking. How
Can
about
you guys
now?
go
hear?
ahead.
Can you
Maybe
hear
it
me,
will be
Mr.
stable now.
Victor?
Okay. Okay. So the question now is,
Yeah, Dr. Joe, we can hear you now, I think.
Okay, good.
okay, you've identified that there are challenges that needs to be fixed in this system, especially within the continent of Africa. In what way have you tried your own side of the pendulum in trying to fix some of this challenge through your foundation?
Okay, great. I think I sent quite a number of footages to you from our archives. One of them was when I was on the panel at the Lagos State Educational Stakeholders Forum. Mr. Emmanuel, you can remember we were there together, right?
Yes, yes, sir. We were there together.
Oh, great, great. Now, at that forum, I particularly, because the Commissioner for Education was there, the Permanent Secretary, everybody that matters in education in Lagos, they were there. PESCOM, Quality Assurance, Last Verb, and all of that. And I was saying that, look, I've been to over 400 schools in Lagos, and being in the field like that, I have seen firsthand the reality of the fact that there are quite a number of supposed students who are in our schools that don't want to be there in the first place. They are there because, well, just go. One, two, government pays for everything. Three, there are quite a number of policies that are in place that suggest some level of politicizing of our educational system that allows for such people to be in school, but they don't have any business there, because they are the ones you will see that the teachers will chase from school opening to school closing every school day. They are either behind the fence throwing dice and gambling, or they have some alcohol in their pocket they need to hide somewhere to sip, or they are the ones chasing after girls, or they are the ones having interest in joining a cult. And They are the ones shooting troubles every other. So such people at that forum, I was saying that why don't we just let these guys move to the technical schools? Because these guys, after school hours, they don't even get back home. They go straight from school to where they are learning a skill. Some of them carpentry, mechanics, styling, barbing salon, and all of that. That's what these guys do. So while they are in school, they just constitute some form of nuisance. And all that they have in mind is let the school just ring the closing bell. They head to where they are learning the school because that's where they get some 2,000, some 5,000, and they believe they're already making money. They already have a life, you know. So on our part as the foundation and myself as an individual, we have been pushing for policies to address these issues, and oh, they are getting attention. I can tell you that.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for that uh, explanation. But I put this question to you. Part of the videos you sent to me, I saw some level of debate and the likes. So, what actually are you trying to achieve with introducing debates and all the likes to this youth?
Okay, great. Let me be quick to say that some of the projects that we have, we are not the first to do those projects. For example, the debates, we have quite a number of projects, but there are some of them that are very, very peculiar to us because of our value, our core values as a foundation. Now, the debate that we organize is so that we can consolidate the efforts that um, is already in place to get the students, these young people, to know that there is a lot that they have locked up inside of them. And some of them just need platforms to express themselves, you know. So sometimes government cannot do it all, you know. They have running costs. They will not go beyond whatever fund they have available to do stuff before they even think of debate. Some of the times, debates may just be some form of necessity that they just have to, make happen. But people like us come in to fester what the system already have in place, you know. And the idea is so that we can consistently engage these young people to make them understand that, look, don't think that education is a scam. Stay here. The skills the skills are very, very critical. They are germane, but they need to set priorities. And how to set priorities is to make them understand that there is a lot of attention you need to put here, whilst you also put some attention on the other end. So the last editions that we had exposed me to even more knowledge of how much we have underutilized the capacity of these young people. You know, last year the theme for the debate was the power of the mind. This year the theme is brain task. I mean, we want these young guys to task their minds, task their brains. They do wonderful things, but you must push them most of the times. That's what we have found out, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Dr. Ojo, this
Yes,
this
sir.
is for you. In what way, in what way do you think that what Nehemiah's Foundation is doing, going to several schools, always having in their face about over 30,000 youths per week, per month? How do you see this culminating into a transformed life of this youth?
All right. Thank you so much. Um, so, looking at it from the leadership standpoint, we see that it's taking a lead to bring about educational literacy, to promote educational literacy among these young ones, among these youth. Like we can agree that at that age, when they are in the intermediate, middle school, high school, or what they call junior secondary school and senior secondary school in Nigeria over there, is a very significant age whereby if the youth are not properly mentored, are not properly guided, they can just miss it, right? And they can just make a huge mistake. And because of a lot of things that are going on around that part of the world, uh, lack of infrastructure, lack of technology to certain extent, especially within the public school where he's majoring at, right? Lack of exposure to, maybe to the international world to see what's going on. So it's very easy for them to be left behind. So what I think he is doing is that bringing that awareness to them, right? From his experience, exposure, training, himself having passed through similar system. So bringing those years of experience to kind of engage this youth, to let them know that, yeah, they can actually judiciously use their time productively. And those debate that he's giving them, I believe, is such that will trigger their brain to think, right? To think beyond the four wall of the school, beyond the routine as routine aspect of just going to school, meeting with their friend, and like you said, some of them are not even interested in being in school because they want to just focus on the skill they are learning or the training they are doing after school, the technical part of the things that they are doing after school. So they go to school and just while away time because it's like kind of mandatory for them or their parent compulsory, make it compulsory for them to do that, right? So what he's doing can transform the life of the youth, right? To make them actually start thinking, right? To make them actually, start challenging themselves, to develop not only communication skill, right? Also social skill, right? Also critical thinking skill, right? So, and those are needed in the real world, right? They're needed in the world of work in the society, right? Leadership skill, right? Because when they're able to step forward to present their case, their argument, their part of the story in a constructive manner, in a constructive way, right? And somebody eventually win the debate. Even those that didn't win, we still learn one or two things from the other, right? So it's kind of it could help them develop communication skill, effective communication skill, dialoguing skill, uh, negotiation skill, right? Mediation skill.
Mm.
So there are a lot of skill they could take away from that, even unknowing to them, right? We see that if you look at what's going on around the globe, it gets to some point, even at the peak of leadership, where people cannot just see each other face to face. They are either ready to kill themselves, blow themselves up, or whatever, and then a third party has to be introduced to mediate, to bring about a dialogue and atmosphere to meddle to help resolve the problem, right? So those are valuable skills that they are gaining, right? And those exposure I think is great.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ojo. Thank you for trying to save a project with your exposure level as a doctor. Okay. I'm now going for Mr. Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel, the question is this. Do
Yes, sir.
you think Africa should still allow ourselves to be flowing in the traditional system of education when the world is already moving towards AI, automation, and the likes of the robotics? Whereas we still have these children in Africa being confined to the four walls of the school. They are being taught how to speak a foreign language that does not actually belong to the fatherland before they can even start using their brain to now analyze what they are supposed to learn using another person's language. What's your take on this? And how is your foundation trying to see how to resolve this challenge?
All right, sir. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone who has been part of this wonderful discourse. Can you hear me, everyone?
Very well.
Very well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So
Emmanuel,
I need to say this. Yes, sir.
just a minute. Somebody just
Yeah.
entered the building. Newbie me.
Hi, family. I'm
My
so
goodness.
I
My
am
good.
so missing the Central's vlog. This is so exciting.
Wow. Let me
I'm
just
listening.
tell you. Let me tell you guys
Welcome,
that
newbie me.
tonight
Hey,
is going. Tonight is going to be hot. We have Newbie me here. So Newbie me, I'll get back to you.
take
Just
your time.
get
This is
your
very
get your
exciting.
question ready.
This,
Emmanuel,
yes,
you,
sir.
you can you
Yes.
can continue now.
All right. So the first thing I want to say to us tonight is from my personal research and from what I have learned over the years, and also as a clergy, I'll speak to you from that standpoint that from time immemorial, you realize that the generation that came into this world after creation, that generation that came directly under God's oversight, I call them the theologian generation. And that generation had direct access to God's knowledge and God's instruction. Of course, at a point, there was the other people too from the other end. But you realize that at the end of the day, this generation birthed another set of generation, which I call the philosopher generation. These philosopher generations didn't really receive the theologian generation as they were. But what happened was that they generated ideas from their predecessors and then they became philosophers. Now, the philosopher generation has given birth to another generation called the industrial revolutionists, because we realize that when knowledge precipitates well, it gives birth to discoveries and creativity. And that's why we came about with the industrial revolution that history tells us about. It was then after the industrial revolution, we have what we call the education generation. Because when everything that those guys discovered, when they're going to be when they're going to start teaching it, then they have to organize a system which gave rise to what is called the educational system. So you find out that the education itself we talk about today from the beginning is not started from a generation called the theologian generation. And I say this because I believe that education enlightens the mind, but skills enlightens the hand. Skills will make you have something you can offer so that you can earn something for a living. But education is deeper than that, because education talks about how to make the holistic man useful to his generation. Someone may be very skillful but may be very wicked. Someone may be very skillful but may be very mean. So yes, we understand the importance of skill, and of course the advent of AI, or the discovery of AI, has put everybody on their toes. Curriculum creators have to go back to drawing board, but then we must understand that it's important for that place of education not to be removed, because if we take or lightly esteem the place of education, you realize that we can have men with skills but not with so much ability to help the world, in terms of kindness, because that's part of education, in terms of wisdom, in terms of social life and creativity. I think personally that we should have a way where the two meet. Yes, you talked about how the African schools are meant to catch up with what is going on in the world out there. But we must never forget that, yes, skills are important, but pastoral life, pastoral reach out is also very important in the education sector. So I think personally that a blend of all these things are needed. And that's why those who are at the helm of affair need to work, get their acts together so that the two are being released at the same time, so that there's a blend created. And for how we are doing what we are doing in terms of our responsibility at Nehemiah Prodigy, basically our responsibility is to remind those students who they are, because sometimes we feel like we're we are missing in the scene when nobody comes to us and tells us how much they value us. And that's what we go there to do, to tell them you are important, your value is great, so do not trade it for any other thing. I don't know whether I'm making point with what I'm saying, but I believe this has wrapped up everything we have done so far in the my process.
Okay. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
let me just quickly ask this question, Ambassador. How did you get your team? Did they have to write a TOEFL exam before you selected them? I thought I will ask question that will nip Emmanuel in the bud, but it was just like dishing it out to me. He even went historical overview and analysis. So that's a wonderful one there. But I still want to say
Thank
something. Maybe
you.
at the end of the day, we might find ourselves in agreement. For example, I am one that you made mention of the fact that uh, the formal education enlightens the mind and the likes of that. And someone that went for skill, maybe their mind might not be enlightened. Mm. But we also discovered that larger percentage of the people that have been ruling the African countries, majority of them have been schooled within the four walls of some certain universities and the likes of them. Yet the story of Africa has not changed for the better. So I beg to put a question mark on that aspect, but me and you will slug it out before the end of the show. But I discovered something even while I was in the banking sector. I took 3 months out, leave of absence, to go and study fashion design. So why did I do that? I realized something. Working in the HR, I discovered that majority of the time, skill might be the best way to live the life that actually fulfills your destiny. So, what is your take on this? Nubini, over to you. What's your take on this, skill or the traditional schooling system? Which would you prefer for the African youth?
I'd actually say skills. I think skills are super important. I mean, I'm not saying the traditional education system is not important. I think it's educational system is important, especially if you're teaching critical thinking skills. You feel me? Especially that I think critical thinking skills are muy important. Can you stop that, sweetie? Yeah, so skills I think is a very essential currently. And just looking at what's happening with AI. Actually, I woke up this morning thinking about AI. So ironic, thinking, what are we gonna do when all this water is consumed? Hasn't anybody thought about like how much AI takes water, and have they thought about recycling that water? Because right now everything's AI, and it just seems like everybody and their mama's using it, idiots and intellectuals alike. So that it's just kind of disheartening to think that the next generation. Has anybody ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
No, I
Okay,
should
there
I
was a
should go and see it up to now.
yeah, there's a movie that they made back in 2000, and it was called Idiocracy, and it talked about how the Western world was gonna be dumb like everybody and their mother. And just the basic skills, basic reading. So I really think that's where we're heading, like right now, and I don't think Africa should definitely be heading in that direction. I think books, education, learning from the ones in the past. Again, the traditional educational system, the traditional educational system, I think, is copied from the West. I think we got to get non-traditional with the skills and critical thinking and saving our books, because it just seems like they want to like get books out of the way. I mean, people are writing books via AI. AI is books, so I'm just really concerned about it. Not saying that I haven't used AI to make things faster for myself, um, but it's still for our organization. Um, but it is still kind of cheating, And if you don't have your own thoughts, uh, then the AI is going to think for you, and I don't think that's not healthy. That'll make your brain atrophied. I think our whole brain, especially here in the West, is getting atrophied and people are getting lazy. So skills are important. The skill of learning how to write, the skill of reading, the skill of critical thinking, the skill of using our hands, skill of being out there in the farm. Because when the electricity goes out, then what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when there's no electricity and God forbid the water scarcity? Those skills are important.
Okay, thank you so very much, Nubin.
Can I contribute a
Okay,
little bit?
okay, Dr. Joe.
Yeah. So Nubin has said it very clearly, and I think I agree with her. So the thing is that with Africa, right? We need to get to the point whereby whenever anything or whatever is brought to us, we actually dissect it, analyze it, and pick the one that kind of is good and useful to us, right? Without completely just disregarding what we have, right? And just embracing what is introduced to us for whatever reason, right? So that's kind of what I think has been the challenge over the many generations or many centuries, right? With Africa and some other parts of the world also. So Western education is very good, of course. I love it. But if we look at history, we know that even before Western education, there has been a lot of ways that Africans have been educating their society, right? Uh, we know that they usually use apprenticeship, right? Use storytelling, passing practical skill from generation to generation, right? So if your father was a carpenter, you will definitely be good at carpentry, regardless of what you do. In addition to that, right? So storytelling, teaching of values, cultural values, social responsibility, right? Apprenticeship, all those, community-based way of teaching and educating the society. And they were doing well. Of course, maybe they are not moving as fast as they should because of, lack of technology and lack of exposure to other way, right? So instead of just throwing those away, right, and embracing the Western education completely, I think the Western education should have been addition to the normal education that they have always been using in the past, right? So that's one thing that I need to be looking to, even when we talk about the future and talking about AI and stuff like that. So we don't want to get to where AI is doing a lot of things, making life easy, and then we just throw both the apprenticeship, skill acquisition, formal education, we throw everything away and embrace AI, and then that's going to land us in a whole lot of stuff. So I'm going to point at that, especially to majority of global East African nations and stuff like that, to be aware of that and to learn from the past, right? So we notice that the formal education is not bad in its own, because why skill acquisition focus on practical skills, focus on ability to be able to solve real world problem, right? Create something, right? If you say you're a carpenter, we can actually see that you have made certain product, right? Seat, chair, and all of those, right? You are doing actually that, right? Compared to somebody that go to school to study building or some kind of education that relate to that cannot even show anything for it, right? Just have the knowledge and can do the math and the calculation and can tell you everything in theory. So so the formal education, the traditional education, I think it just help structure knowledge. I think that's what they focus on: structuring knowledge and packaging it and structuring it, right? And focusing on critical thinking, like Nubi means talk about, right? That's why we have all the debate. They made you to write big exam, you write qualification exam, you take quizzes every now and then, take terminal exam before you move from this stage to another. You take one big exam, international exam, and all of that. So they are packaging the structured knowledge, right, and promoting critical thinking And they are also focusing on solving problems, but not necessarily real-world problem, which the practical skill acquisition and practical education, apprenticeship, and all those mentorship focus on solving real-world problems that affect day-to-day human being, right? The traditional education focus on solving problem, but not necessarily real-world problem. And even though it promotes critical thinking, we realize that because of AI and other kind of way, people find a way of not even applying that critical thinking skill. So application is also another thing that most part of African nation are not also focusing on. They just gather the knowledge, put it on their head, not focusing on application of it. So they are not able to now convert those structured knowledge to the usefulness of solving problems and targeting real world problem. So that those are where the disconnects are. So it is very good to have the traditional education that teach structured knowledge, critical thinking, social skills, and all of those, right? And it's also good to focus on skill acquisition, technical education, apprenticeship, and all of those, right? But for Africa, I think they need to focus more on the skill acquisition more, because the traditional education can be achieved at any point in time, right? At my age, I can decide to go get a bachelor degree in engineering. They will still give me admission if I have the requirement, right? If I meet the basic requirement, right? But at my age, it might be difficult to start climbing the ladder to, do some carpentry work and stuff like that, right? Because the age is telling, right? You see what I'm saying? So skill acquisition should be the first thing to be introduced to the youth, to any society. Skill acquisition, practical skill, apprenticeship, mentorship, solving real world problems should be the first thing, right? And then the traditional education can go on concurrently, or could be added later. You will not get it wrong that way, right? You won't get it wrong that way. So those are the things I think we need to focus on.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Dr. Ojo. I have this question for those of you that studied in this, that started your life in Africa, especially Nigeria. And if you are part of those that attended public school, raise up your hand, please.
I did.
Tell me something. Oluwakemi, you did not attend public school.
Only at university level. Elementary
Wow,
and secondary school were private schools.
wow, you missed out something. What you missed out was is this experience. They call it LTP. How many of us remember that? Is it LTP that you go for carpentry for this? It happens on Tuesdays. Every one of us, we just file down. Those that want to learn woodwork, they will teach us. I remember making my first wooden tray, from beginning to the end. Those that are interested in fashion, there is machine for them to sew and the like that. They do that on Tuesdays. They'll just file maybe one Tuesday per month. File everybody down to the LTP. You do your craft thing. It was from that period I know that, I actually, apart from being brainy, I actually love to do things with my hand. And that was why when I got after my graduation at the bank, I was just like, you know what? After seeing the way that they will terminate somebody's employment, and in the next few months, his or her life nosedive, start looking old, and most of the time they just pass out after a short period of time. I said to myself, I'm not going to go through this circle of empty life. I want to actually own something that I can say, this is me doing it. And today, I retired at 35 to start doing things by myself. So, skill is very, very important, because we are wrapping up now. We don't intend to stay long on this. Skill is very important. And surprisingly, my people, Formal education is also very, very important. But where Africa is getting it wrong is the inability of the system that to be able to marry the two together
Yes, sir.
at the earliest convenience. When I mean at the earliest convenience, at the point whereby the brain of this youth is still budding, looking for engagement and the likes. We are supposed to marry the two together because I remember my statement when I was graduating from the university. I was a class rep, and in the yearbook, I wrote it there. I said, you know what? We are not just in the university to just make grades and everybody goes home. No, we are in university solely for connection. I'm sure some of them did not understand me because everything I did in that university, funny enough, 70% of it I did not study it in while at school. I did all my study back in the house. So all I was just able to do was to make friends, useful friends that today some of them are high up in the what's it called police academy and the likes of them. So many of them are now top-notch persons in oil and gas and the likes. Those are one of the major advantage of going to school. Relationship. After that, every other thing that you've read is secondary. Because when you even get out of the school, you will discover that majority of those that we organizations that we employ you, we just employ on flat base. The main thing they are after is what can you actually perform this job? And for you to perform the job, the excel that you were never taught in school is what you are going to be slugging it out with, not the y, the x, applied econometrics, applied statistics, and what have you. No, it's the skill, the presentation skill, the communication skill, ability to write a memo intelligently. But look at it today. This is where the challenge now is. Presently, the memos, the drafting, the speech, everything is now automated. So what happens to you that you have spent all your life being educated without learning a skill? Those are the ones that AI is their prayer point now. They are asking AI to die. But let me tell you, AI is not dying. So today, that is why we are bringing this foundation. Some of you are surprised that, how can the Setros be bringing another foundation to come and talk about what they are doing? We embarked on our own research and we found out that Nehemiah Foundation has been doing something worthy of interest, worthy of note. They have been going to schools, and surprisingly, I can tell you that they've gone to large chunk of schools within Lagos alone. Lagos is just one state out of how many states in Nigeria? And they've gone to over 400 schools. And each majority of these schools are not just mushroom schools, they are public schools that you have hundreds, thousands of students there. And on weekly basis.
Can I shock you? Can I shock you on something? Sorry.
Okay, sir.
In Lagos State, there are 6 education districts. All right. Now, each of the districts have minimum of 100 schools under them. In recent times, it has risen to between 105 and 115 schools per district. And in the last 4 years, we are just covering only 3 districts. We are covering the third district now to about say 60% of the number of schools under the district. That's education district 2. We have covered district 1. We have covered district 6. We are just covering district 2. You know, and each of the districts are distributed amongst 3 zones. So when you look at all of these, it tells you how much work there is and the population that we have in Lagos. And we're talking about the population of young people, of teenagers, you know, that's huge. It's a lot, you know. And that is why when it comes to collaborations like these, seeing how we can scale what we are already doing to reach more, I get a lot of calls from other zones and other districts to say, look, you are not bringing your projects to us. You are not, I will tell them, don't worry, it will get to you. These things comes at a cost, you know. We brought bicycles from the United Kingdom into Nigeria sometime last year, where we just distributed the second phase like less than 2 weeks ago. We brought the bicycles in to give to underserved students who travel to school, covering a distance between 5 and 10 kilometers. Most often, when they get to school, every school day, they're already tired because they mostly do trekking. The low income earners, they can't afford to give transport fare to their children. So those ones, they have to do the trekking. So we are able to identify them and give them bicycles so that they ride to school and ride back. Although we have a process in place. When they get to school, they park the bicycle. When they close, you ride it back home. It's not for neighborhood shenanigans. Just park it and all of that. We have monitoring parameters and all of that. So all of these things, it's a lot. It's a lot, and we are measuring the impact, and we are happy at the results we are getting. So I just wanted to make that input. Thank you.
Okay. Now, talking about that bike stuff, when I saw your bike project and I saw bikes loaded in containers, I was like, somebody rescue my memory. What is happening here? I think that's one of the projects that you got very, very right. And kudos to you. We give you your bell on that. That's a very nice one. Because if we continue to wait for the federal government, we go wait tire because the government alone cannot handle all this.
Yeah, right.
So we need to
Mm.
some of us that are still thinking out of love for the country, we need to think outside the box to see how we can bring succor to these young child that are actually the future of tomorrow. Though you and I know that the youths in Nigeria start at 65. That's a story for another day. But now, now the angle I'm looking at it is this. Since which was partly what we talked about, and that was what brought in the topic of today: skill and formal education. That is why we like the sky is wide enough for every one of us to zoom in and be impactful. So we coming together to form a synergy whereby you undo the aspect that relates to the academic and all the like that you've been doing. But we at Cetro's Foundation, our calling is majorly okay. No is here. Our calling is majorly skill related. Skill, where we've been going to numerous underserved uh, geographical locations and the likes to go, and we just bump into some villages and ask them what do you actually want to learn? What do you like doing? And you'll be surprised. Some of these children that they are forcing down to school and forcing academic down their throat, some of them are interested in skills. So whenever you go out for some of these your outreaches, because the number you are pulling is very scary. So let me state it clearly. We try
Hmm.
our best to select some out of the numbers because you are dealing with thousands here. We will select some out of them
Hmm.
and then we'll sponsor their training in numerous crafts that they are interested in. So that's how we want to partner with you so that you continue to do what you are doing. But you see all those ones that are not actually ready for the four walls of the school. They're not even thinking of the university. Some of them just want to get a secondary school certificate and just continue with their craft. those ones, once you're able to identify the serious one, is them, don't worry, just push them over towards.
Some of them don't even want the certificate. I get
Oh,
feedback from schools. They will tell you many of them won't even come back for testimonials or for certificates.
you can imagine that.
You know,
This,
some of them are waiting for WAEC to finish, and then they will do that nonsense to do with marking. They
wow,
come wearing white t-shirts, and then they are writing stuff and pressing themselves and
wow.
throwing the community into chaos and all of that. That's what some of them are waiting for. After that day, they
Hmm,
don't have it. They are not coming back for anything.
my goodness, my goodness. So,
So don't worry, we will push them to you. We will push
okay.
them to you.
So, what we just need to help us filter the ones that are very, very serious with such skill. For example, New Bimi can tell you some stories. Dr. Joe also can tell you some stories. We went deep down into Makoko during one of our exploration.
Mhm.
We discovered a young chap that was building a two-story building on top of the water. As we speak with you, that same day that we met that guy, he has been with his boss for years. The parent could not even pay for his graduation. We
Mm.
made payment that same day. We arranged for his graduation. We bought him all the startup tools and the like. Is on our archive. And today,
Oh,
that guy
really?
is traveling around Africa,
Mm.
constructing and
That's
what
it.
constructing buildings and all the likes, every woodwork in the building and the likes. He now went to even study upholstery. Now, hotel, one hotel gave him job to do in Lagos. I think another organization that looks like an
Mm.
hotel gave him stuff to do outside Nigeria. So those are the ways of pulling these youth. And those that are interested in the academia, you guys are already doing great. Mind you, once we are done with today's live stream, I'm going to play videos of what Nehemiah Foundation has been doing. This when I saw videos, I was tired. They have evidence of what they have been doing back to back. And I must say that you guys have really, really tried. The only
Thank you.
addition and the only additional question I would like to ask is, what are you doing with respect uh, to inculcating AI exposure to these youths? Let's have that.
Okay. What we are doing in that regard is controlled because we don't do classrooms with them. There are teachers employed by the government to do all of that. Unless we organize boot camps, fellowships, or special programs where we expose them to these things. But can I tell you, these children have all these things on their fingertips. Mr. Emmanuel can buttress what I'm saying in just a minute once I stop now. You see, these children have smartphones. One of the slogans that I've told them to put on our placards for the coming debate is that you have a smartphone in your hand. Are you smart? That's
Whoa,
one of the slogans.
whoa.
You have a smartphone in your hand, but are you smart? These children, you will be amazed at what they do with. Look, but I never fancied iPhone, but I was forced to get one. The office got me one sometime. I got back home, my children told me everything about iPhone. I was forced to ask them, did you buy one before? They know everything. Right. So when we talk about AI and how much these young chaps are exposed to it, I want to tell you, beyond any training we may want to give them, in fact, they will train you on AI. They know it. Some of them are using it for cybercrime already to tell you how much they know of it. However, what we need to do is to guide them. And we are designing programs. That's why we are bringing some into our mentorship hub. Dr. Ojo is playing a major role in all of that. So it's good that we are having this discussion so that we can articulate our minds as to what areas we need to inculcate into what we are already doing. Mr. Manda, you want to say something?
Yes, I was talking about AI with some students last week, and the first thing they said is, "We already know." And I'm wondering, what do you know about AI? Then they asked me, "What do you know?" You tell us what you know, then we will tell you. And I realized that they know so much as I do know, and I felt threatened a bit that, okay, is it like I am the one being slow this time because I'm trying to give you some skills or some information, and you are telling me which aspect of the knowledge do you ah,
Do you?
and I was thrown off balance. I mean,
Mr.
they know
Emmanuel,
how to use. Yes, sir.
Mr. Emmanuel, I hope you did not mention Chat GPT to them.
No, 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 sir. I could not even mention ChatGPT because of what they told me that ChatGPT is old school,
Oh,
and then old school, yeah. They began to tell me, do I know how to configure Copilot? Ah,
okay.
okay.
No.
Have I?
Mhm.
How much do I know about cloud? I said I know cloud. They said, do I know how to use it well? Ah, I realized that we
Mm.
need to go and not because we don't know, but now we need to really organize something that will help them have gainful use of this knowledge, because many of them now are trying to use it for cyber crime, as Ambassador Joseph just spoke about right now. But then to now bring it into organized body of knowledge that will lead to them doing something gainful, building applications, setting up websites, creating all kinds of, these APIs that will help them to be able to use a couple of other tools on the website. Those are the next phase of our engagement with them. But that knowledge, they have it. I can tell you that for free.
That's a good one. No being me.
I
Are you there?
I
Okay.
definitely know what Dr. Emmanuel is talking about because they're like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. They telling me stuff that I'm like, what? Deep think. Like what's going on? I'm a little slow myself. I'm like, wow, it's like the DNA was put in them, like the AI generation. I'm like,
Yes, exactly. Yes.
um, but at the same time, like I explained to them, these things are tools, they're assistants, but they shouldn't take over. Like the doctor said, you have a smartphone, but are you smart? Are you intelligent? So really
Mhm.
just pushing the learning and the reading, and also letting them know that Chat GPT and these AIs don't always tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know
Mhm.
that you're being fooled, you may be fooled. And then the new thing now is how to prompt,
Mm.
how to ask the question.
Yes.
Like, okay, how do you prompt? That's like the new skill, and everybody and their mother is doing a workshop on how to prompt, how to ask the right questions. It's almost like, I'm sorry, it's almost like the cyber Ouija board. You feel me? I'm not saying skills are not important, but sometimes I'm just like, where, you know what I mean? And then all this stuff is being, we're training, like my son says, we're training the AI, that it's us, it's our knowledge that the AI is learning. And then,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
Interesting.
and taking, and then
Interesting.
categorizing it. My son, which, what I love about this generation, I don't know if it's in this United States or something, or in the West, but a lot of the new generation, I would say maybe in high school, junior high school, they're not really fond. They know how to use AI, but they don't really like the fact they don't, in terms of the artists and the creative people and the musicians, they're really not fond of what's happening with the AI revolution. So it's kind of perplexing. There's some youth who like the old school, and I think we have to
Mm.
incorporate that. But again, the point is, when the electricity go down, what's your AI? What chat gonna tell you? What Claude gonna tell you? when there's no more water, what's on? What's going to happen? You know, so I think we all need to learn, but like the doctor says, I'm learning from these youth too. I'm like, oh, do this? Oh, okay, what? Huh? You know, there are some things that are tedious that this tool are helping us to get, but we really need to get into the critical, like I said, critical thinking and understanding what's happening. The little stuff, yes. Let's have that balance. But I did find out that a lot of people here in the West are losing their jobs because of AI.
True.
So there's a lot of unemployment because of these tools. And I recently heard that a lot of these companies are going to Africa too. I don't know if this is what I've heard recently, that a lot of them are leaving the West and coming and going to Africa. So all I have to say is save me a house.
That's true.
And a job.
You're always welcome. You're always welcome.
And hook me up with a job, Centros. Hook it up. Hook it up.
You always have a home. No, be me. It's not you asking now. We are the one waiting for you to come down to Africa. Let's host you. The homeland where we teach AI how to make soup.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We still need the skills, labor to make it, right? No robots making it.
Photographers.
Authentic.
Photographers no longer have their jobs. Photographers no longer have. My last birthday, I didn't have to engage anybody for a photo shoot. You know, I just input prompts and I have the best pictures in the world. You know, good thing you couldn't even tell whether it was AI or it was a photo shoot. It looked so perfect, you know. And something like I like to say something to what Dr. just said earlier about the relativity between the academics and the skill acquisition. You know, there is a tribe in Nigeria called the Igbos. The Igbos, he said that there is a way that we have engaged in education before the West brought their curriculum to us. You know, and that's true. Till tomorrow, the Igbos will bring a tiny boy from the village. He gets into the city and becomes an apprentice to somebody who sells electronics, who sells fabrics, who sells whatever. And right there, the boy grows into a business mogul naturally like that. And, you know, these guys will just become professors at business administration right on the street, even better than those within the four walls of the university or a tertiary institution. And naturally, these things are there. And that gives us a better idea or perspective into the relationship that the academics and skill acquisition has. That is why we need to ensure that our curriculum has at least 25 to 30% inclusion of skill acquisition in our schools. A young boy was always going with the father to their fabrication workshop where they do welding, you know, and the boy grew from there, went to the secondary school, got in the university, read an engineering course, came back to the local fabrication shop and turned it into a company. What happened? He got education plus the skill he had acquired just by staying around the father. And, you know, today now they write proposals and get contracts from multinationals, right? Just from, so like I said earlier, we are doing the best we can with the government. We are engaging the government. We are a stakeholder and we've earned our place and we continue to push for this thing. Thank you.
Okay. That's a good one from you. Now,
months after the successful conclusion of the inter-secondary school debate themed The Power of the Mind, a special ceremony was held to celebrate outstanding achievements and recognize those who contributed significantly to the success of the event. This gathering reaffirmed the commitment of organizers and stakeholders to promote academic excellence and youth empowerment.
It's a landmark event which was done out of absolute intention. One, to encourage this young generation to know that there is value in doing what is right, and particularly to let them understand that at this stage of their lives, what should matter to them most is their education, and to make them understand also that there is a lot that they have locked up inside of them that they need to explore to bring out the best in them.
As part of the prize for literary excellence, certificates were presented to outstanding students, while teachers and district officers under District 1 of the Lagos State Ministry of Education received certificates of recognition and honor for their dedication to academic excellence and mentorship.
Okay, sorry for bringing that in abruptly. My intention was to just bring it in and let it run quietly, but the video decided to show itself to the world. When I went through lots of your videos, I am so proud meeting with you through Dr. Ojo, and as such, I want to appeal to our followers that might be seeing this video much after this live stream. What we are doing is we are forming a synergy with this reputable foundation. They've built their infrastructure in terms of connection to the government that are actually handling these schools. And as such, they are always in the face of thousands of persons. So all we are going to do at Cetro's Foundation is to see how we can have a proper arrangement with them whereby they screen out the unserious ones that want to waste our time. They screen them out and give us the ones that are actually needy, that are interested in crafts. And mind you, some might even be interested in craft and they are still academically sound. Those are the kind of youths that we want to just bring out and support them so that they can learn the skill of their choice either while they are in school or when they are done with school, so that we can have a positive impact on the continent of Africa and the world beyond. So the discussion this evening has been tailored towards between the formal traditional system of education or skill. The truth is that you cannot be balanced on one leg. We need both because that is how the rest of the world that are advanced today. That is how they have been able to stabilize their citizen, their economy, and they've been able to give back to the world. So, with this being wrapped up in the next 5 minutes, each and every one of us just have 40 seconds to wrap up on this particular idea that Nehemiah Foundation is bringing to the world in terms of making these youth realize that regardless of the fact that they are going into this public school that I call a war zone in Nigeria. It was not like that.
That's true.
But now it's like a war zone. You have large numbers of people that should be studying Agberu, if you know what that is.
You're right, so you're right, so.
Find them out there, and by the time it is 2 o'clock, I don't want to be around any school environment because they're like hooligans being released from hell. They can do anything. But this foundation has been,
All right.
I want to say, you have been going through a lot of risk, going into the midst of this. I don't call them children.
You just hit the nail on the head with that statement.
Yeah.
You're very correct.
Because I see them as, oh my God. Sometimes I even have to try to rescue some other schools that are private school from the hand of this You need to see the molestation, open molestation and the likes, just because some of
True.
them have business in that school. Some of them are supposed to be in craft. All those their energy, by the time they use it to drill some metal, they will not have the power to be so destructive to the society. So I give kudos to you. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is help us get these few that are serious, and Settle's Foundation will take care of their in learning in terms of
We'll do that.
craft and the likes of them.
We'll do
And
that.
for education, if you're able to get certain concentration of those that are already learning, we can work out with what we've done before. We can work out a system whereby we get a particular um, shop location so that we set up whatever they've learned. Maybe like 5 persons that have learned tailoring, we can rent a workspace and place them there so that they are actually
Oh,
making money from the crafts they've
mm.
learned. So, with that being said, I want to say one by one now. The last person who will talk is Ambassador himself. Let's start from our doctor. Doc- Doctor in the making. I'm calling you doctor already.
That's
Oluwakemi.
my doctor.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
that's my doctor.
you must invite us to, during your inauguration. Okay. So
and
you have the floor.
how many of you notice? How many of you notice that tiny voice? Very tiny.
I didn't want to
Okay.
I didn't want to say anything about our tiny voice so that they won't ask me to go and sleep on the couch tonight.
All right, thank you so much, the Cetros, for this opportunity to showcase what we've actually been doing in the foundation. And the work still continues, like Ambassador Joseph constantly says, the work continues. We are hoping that people are willing to support us because we cannot do this by ourselves. It's overwhelming, trust me. If you have to deal with thousands of people, you have to make provisions for all of these things. So we implore those who are going to watch this, support us and put us in your prayers, and we'll continue to make you proud in the foundation. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so very much. That's well delivered. Before the next person comes up, let me tell you, foundation team, especially those that are actually doing it genuinely, it is cost inclined. It is very, very,
Heavy cost at that.
yes, it's very, very demanding. And as such, I'm trying to post here. If you want to support, if you like to support the foundation, these are their details right here. Support Joseph Adewale Youth Empowerment Foundation. Their bank account is GTB is just right there. So if you want to support what they are doing, helping the youth from numerous location in Africa, Nigeria to be precise for now, because I believe that by the time you are doing much, we will soon be exporting you to the rest of the African countries so that you can rescue more youths. So please support them. We have
Gladly.
nothing to lose.
Gladly.
We have not, we have nothing to lose raising each other's shoulder up so that we can actually affect this youth. When I was talking with him, he mentioned something. He said, if I don't help those youth will constitute a problem for my children in the future. And that's actually right.
Mhm.
So, um, next person is Emmanuel. Emmanuel, over to you.
Are you sure he's still here?
Ah, is Emmanuel gone?
I think the
Okay,
network Yankee.
he has a network issue. Okay, over to you,
Mm.
Dr. Ojo.
All right. Thank you, Nehemiah Foundation. I think you guys are doing very outstandingly. You guys are doing awesome, right? I'll give kudos to you for all you're doing. Of course, helping the youth is actually helping ourselves. Why? Because they are the future of tomorrow. right? And the more help, the more exposure, the more access, the more support we give to them, we're actually helping our future as well. So I give kudos to you guys what you are doing, and I understand that it's very cost inclined, which is why we are here, which is why we have been supporting you. We'll continue to support you. Definitely, we implore everyone listening to this, or anyone that will listen to this eventually, to put in mind to support this kind of foundation that is taking care of the youth. The problem of one society is the problem of every other society. If we have a lot of people trying to escape from Africa, from the Asia, trying to go to America, UK is tightening their border, Europe is like, closing their border and everything. Why? Is because they saw opportunity there. They see greener pasture there. They see that maybe they can get something better over at the other side of the ocean. That's why they want to go. But if we empower them and we create an environment that is conducive and encouraging for them, I think nobody will think about going to other place. They will stay where they are and enjoy their life, right? So it's a good thing to support the youth. It's a good thing to support this foundation. Uplink Sojo, I've been supporting them. We'll continue to do that. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, we'll continue to provide mentorship for those youth out there in whatever capacity. Skill acquisition is very important, like Cetros has said. At the same time, traditional education is also very, very important. Both has to balance. Both have to be merged together. And the earlier it is done, the better, right? So we give kudos to you. We said continue to do what you are doing. You're on the right path. Uh, Thank you to you for what you are doing on your team. Don't get weary. Be encouraged, and help will come very soon. More help will come. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much, Dr. Ojo. Now we move over to, I love that part. Help will come very soon. And the help will even, some of the help will even come from the Cetus Foundation itself, not just the member. So we'll see what we'll be able to do to support what you guys are doing. Because if
Thank
we
you.
cannot, the truth is that we can't, Cetus Foundation cannot be everywhere. So if we have you, you are covering some part for us, Abba, no matter how little, we'll see what we can do to support what you guys are doing. Newbie me, over to you.
Yes. I want to say congratulations as a Nigerian via Haiti, IET. You know what I'm saying? As people on the Western Front over here, I thank you. This partnership with the foundations are very important. And I know that the works that you guys are doing will definitely extend over here. Don't forget your family in the Caribbean as the youth learn like both, right brain and left brain knowledge. Also, let's not get the very important emotional, spiritual, and mental health awareness. That is a very important skill. I think that's where the art can come in and expression to help. And we don't want to be a carbon copy of the West, as you can see what has
Mm.
happened. We want to be better than, and it is scriptural. It is the prophecy. So Africa is the future for the world and the healing of the world. And so we need to look at how the world messed up and how Africa is going to make it better for us, and especially in Nigeria. So we're very excited about this partnership. And thank you so much for all your hard work, everybody's hard
Thank
work.
you.
Look forward to it um, helping the world. And again, big up, much love are your Haitian Haitian family and the ones who are stuck here in the West. Give thanks.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so Thank you so very much, Nubimi. And Dr. Joe, do you know that Nubimi has been doing some great work out there in the United States? I've been seeing some of our videos of events that she's been hosting youth, different level of community gathering and the likes of them. Nubimi, you and I need to find time out to to talk so that we can bring up what you are doing over there in the United States. We need to dedicate a day to showcase. I was glued when I was going through what you guys were doing there, to the extent that I was like, are these people still in the United States, or they are somewhere in Africa? I saw the African nation drums and the dance culture, and I was like, what? I can't even
Wow.
dance, and I'm in
Awesome.
Nigeria. So
Thank
please,
God. Thank
we need
you.
we need to sit down. Thank God that we are fully back now. We need to dedicate a day to what you are doing, because that was how we saw what what's it called, Nehemiah's Foundation is doing, and the whole world needs to see what they are doing. You understand? So even you, what you are doing in the United States, please don't let it just be amidst your community there. Let us see, let the whole world see what you are doing. So we need to plan out time to showcase what you are doing. Thank you so very much, Nubin.
Beautiful. Thank you
All
so
the
much.
Nubi, me also, you can share when you're having your programs. If some of us are around, if we are around the neighborhood, or we can plan a vacation and show up. It's always possible, either physically or
That's
virtually
great.
or stuff like that. So share the dates and
That's
let
great.
us know when you're having those
I,
events.
I could I could fly
Thank
down from
you.
Nigeria too.
correct, correct.
For the
And
and we actually have a podcast that we just, so I'm going to put that on the Facebook, so please follow us and see the beautiful work that our youth have been doing with the podcast. Thank you for the support, family. We'll do that, and keep us in prayer, keep our organization in prayer, and keep our participants and our volunteers in prayer. We thank you.
okay,
We'll do
uh,
that soon.
before you go, Nubimi, since you are doing a podcast, let's see how, talk to your technical guys. Let's see how we can stream it as it's happening there on our platform as well. So
We'll
what you
do.
are, we want
I,
to join you live. We want to dance with you. We want to, whatever you are eating there, just know that we're going to eat it here too, because we know how to prepare all those things here in Africa. So
Give
it,
thanks.
it's nice having you on ground. So we go over to Mr. Visionaire Ambassador Joseph.
Thank you so much. I would just like to say that I've been so encouraged. Um, our entire team, represented by myself, Ms. Oluwakemi, Mr. Emmanuel, we are so encouraged. We've come a long way. I think I can categorically say that this is about the first time that we've had several collaborations and partnership, but they end up using my funds at the end of the day. They don't get to bring funds, and I mean they are huge projects, but it's okay. The United Nations, the what have you, but here, not having not received a dime in donations or support through the Cetros Foundation, I'm already very, very overwhelmed with appreciation for your platform and coming out to discuss this. When I see young people here who have been delinquent and they have been rascally, I just, you know, in sarcasm, tell them that you think this is hooliganism you are doing. Go and see how they do it, where they are really doing it. And I'm referring to the West. You go to a place like the United States, without this nonsense this guy do here, and I try to shame them to let them know that you don't even know how to be a hooligan. You don't know how to do organized crime, and that's the fact. I tell them go and watch. I tell them go and watch so and so film and see how they plan a bank robbery. See high tech process of robbing a bank, and you are just here shouting and And I say that because it is the fact, and how that is to our advantage is that what they think they are doing in the name of crime is child's play. So we can snatch them from their delinquency. We can, and we are doing that. We are really doing that. It takes a bit. And I have been, okay, I went to a place where they brought some boys to me and they said, sir, these are cult boys in a secondary school. I said, what? So when I turned, I saw about 12 of them. And I said, kneel down, because that's where it starts. In the military, they call it show of force. You have to show them that you have capacity to tame them. Otherwise, they may turn against you, even right there.
Yeah.
So I said, kneel down. They knelt down, but one of them said, no, I don't kneel down. I'm a herbalist. Anybody that tells me to kneel down will not last 7 days. He will die. When he said that, I turned in his direction. He was actually taller. I'm tall. This young man was taller than I am. And you know what? I loaded him a heavy slap. When I did that, in a blink, I saw he was already kneeling. I said, oh, so you could kneel down.
Correct.
Oh, so you could kneel down. So I took them under a tree and I had about 1 hour, 25 minutes with them. And when I finished, I said to them, I said, there is a room where only successful people can enter. I said, I'm very, very certain that in the nearest future, I will meet you guys in that room. And I said, if you believe you meet me in that room, give me a handshake. And they were struggling for my hand.
Can you imagine?
So 1 hour, 25 minutes brought transformation in their mind. It brought transformation in their mind. And about 2 weeks after, we went to walk around that neighborhood and I stopped by at the school. And I said, where is that my friend that is the herbalist? So they went to call him. And I told him, you said I wouldn't last 7 days. That's me here. That's flesh and blood. And I had to hug him and we laughed it over. Wow. I'm saying this just to say that unless some of us do these things, you won't even realize that it takes just a little effort to recover some of these guys from their path to destruction. We've been to places where when we finish with them, you see these young people, some in twos, some in threes, they will walk up to me where I stand, and they will say, sir, thank you so much. We promise you we'll make you proud. Another set will come and say, sir, we promise you we'll see you at the top. Sir, we promise you we'll put in the work. Sir, we promise you, and this and that. We go to some other places where I will tell them to give them pads to write, what would you like to become? Many of them, just like what you say you're doing. So I'm going to gather some of those data and just pass them to you. Okay. Some will say, I want to be an actor. I want to be a this. Some of them, out of their recklessness too, will write, I want to be a Yahoo. Please give me a laptop.
Sorry. Please. Anyone that says he or she wants to be an actor,
Yes.
Beautiful. You know what I'm going to transform that person to? A content creator.
Whoa.
So I have a studio. If I have large number of them, when I say I mean I have my personal studio, and Cetros Foundation has its own studio.
Oh, great.
Where we can bring them in, maybe one day. All it will cost us is refreshment for that day, tea break, lunch that will make them happy.
Yeah.
We'll train them to create content. And they will actually create content before leaving the Cetro Foundation studio. And
wow.
We'll channel for them. Let me tell you, once these youth discover that they can actually talk to the world instead of trying to defraud the world, they are thinking,
it
will shift. It will shift.
They are thinking will change, and you'll be shocked.
Yes.
You'll be shocked. So please, I'm looking. Yes. Once you just please help us gather those data. Once they mention anything, what have you, we'll teach them how to script, how to do all those stuff. We brought in a veteran actor to come and train our youth right in the studio.
I do acting too. I do acting. I have linked with a lot of the actors. So your hub can be a major hub where if I have to call any of them to come and So these children, let's just move them to you, and then you can guide them into the pathway to reach where they can become independent and they can actualize their vision. Right.
Now let me shock you. Where I am, where you are seeing so,
Yes.
is the Settles Foundation studio.
Oh, great.
So
Awesome.
you can see the quality of the shots and
The
everything,
ambience. Yeah, the ambience. Yeah.
and
I can see the aesthetics.
is in a secluded estate,
Oh,
access
great.
access restricted estate. So some of the time when they just leave that their machine, that their rough zone,
Yeah,
and they
that's true.
come into a space like this,
It
and
shifts their minds.
so they begin to see that, oh, so we are just wasting our life with all this. If all these people that are coming to come and rescue us, they have this kind of plan for us, then we should have plan for ourselves.
Right. So I think
Mm.
it's a good idea. It could be a project whereby some of those hooligans, some of those bad boys, or those students that are just wasting their time, uh, we can gather them, possibly bring them to the Settle studio. Some of the things that are doing negatively, we can create content for that, and they can act it out. And we can take it back to the school, whereby the school can play it to the entire school. And the
Yes,
whole essence of it is not just to focus on what the negative they are doing, but the conclusion. The conclusion of the acting should now be, you know, the what that kind of lifestyle should lead will lead to, and why it is important for them to have a turnaround and do the right thing so that they can end up this way. Like you said, they said they want to see you at the top and stuff like that. That could be the conclusion
yes,
or the
yes.
ending part of whatever story, right? So we just need to mentor them properly, engage their brain, using what they are doing wrongly now as a tool to mentor them, to show them a picture of what they should be doing and what they actually expected to achieve in the future. So and that would be a great lesson to others, because by the time every other person is watching it in the school, right? Maybe on one of the day when they are able to go to the hall and everybody's watching it, they'll be learning all kind of things, and then those lives will be changed. Those lives will be
That's
changed,
true.
right? So and
You
then we
know,
can
you
take
know
that to
what, you know
other
what I
schools.
think we'll do, eh? One thing I want us to do, I've thought of it before, in fact, I wanted to set it in motion about 2 years ago, but I think it's time for that now. I'm going to write to the ministry and ask them for approval to set up in all the schools what we call theater club. So the same way they have the Jet Club, they have the Literary Debates Club, they have the whatever club in their extracurricular activity list. We can now have the theater club. So please just bear in mind that we'll work on that.
All right.
That's a fantastic one. Okay, so time is fast spent. Uh, are you done with your summary, Mr. Joseph?
My rap, no, 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 that's enough so that we don't overshoot the time.
Uh,
I
okay.
mean, we can do this again.
We can
We can
always
do
come
this
back.
again.
We can always come back. Yeah, I think it's always good to come back on this kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not a question. You are
Say that
always
again.
welcome. I said it's not a question. You are always welcome because you're always welcome. You know why you're always welcome? Central's
Yeah,
Foundation is not here to struggle space. Our vision is just to touch as many lives so that at the end of our days, we can look back and say, what did we actually spend our life doing? Then those youth lining up to say, just because of you not leaving us in the ditch, we've been able to
yes.
change our life. Let me share this with us as I wrap up. Several years ago, while I was in the HR of one of the topmost banks in this country, A young lady, poorly, let me just say, not necessarily poorly, but my standard of employment in the bank, she was poorly dressed. But to her, it was just modesty because she belongs to this particular faith that they don't like wearing jewelries and all the like. And some of my colleagues turned her down. They did not
Mm.
even they did not even assess her capacity. And lo and behold, I asked her one question and she was able to answer. She was like, please, I should help her. And by the time I was done, I said, this girl is brilliant. I went there, I said, you won't tell me that because this girl is not putting on jewelry and all the likes and she's dressed shabbily, we should let her go. I made sure we conducted interview for that young lady. You know, as we speak, during the lockdown, I went to a particular bank. Lo and behold, the queue was much, but somebody just walked up and screamed when she saw me. She pulled me out of that crowd and collected my checkbook. And
Mm.
at, she was the head of operations in that branch.
Wow.
So, what am I trying to say? Majority of what we do, if actually we are doing it from our real self,
That's it.
finance might not be part of it, but in the future, you will see how many
Mm.
lives that you have taken out of wrongdoings. Those are what we
Yes.
call generational blessings. They will bless you, they will bless your children. They will be so happy
Hmm.
that somebody stood up for them so that they can also do the same for others. So, as we wrap up today, I want to say thank you, every one of us. Thank you, Nehemiah Foundation, for standing out at what you do, going the extra mile.
Mm. Thank you.
Just have it at the extra side of your mind that if we waited for you to do the call to come back on our show, we will call you back.
we'll,
Let the world know that we have
we'll,
won.
we'll look out for that.
So
We'll
let's
be on standby.
because we need to affect more of this youth because the problem Nigeria is having now is because of the youth that were introduced into something strange, and they are the one kidnapping and terrorizing the whole world now. So let's play our quota so that we can rescue them. So from every one of
Yep.
us at Setros Foundation, Setros Blog, and Nehemiah Foundation, want to say thank you so very much. If you need more information
Thank you.
on Nehemiah Foundation, maybe in our subsequent live stream, we'll put more of the information there for you. You can check them out. Your website, sir.
www.gianthumanity.org.
Can you type that in and let's check?
Okay, let me.
Because once we sign out now, I'll be playing videos of what Neymar Foundation has been doing. And I want to say, Dr. Ojo, thank you so very much for introducing um, to us with respect to what they have been doing. We want to appreciate every one of us from Lagos, Nigeria, to the rest of the world. We want to say thank you so very much. Have a great day. If you have any question, query, type it in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, share with your friends so that more people can see this. And if you have any youth out there that is in need of training in craft, don't
Okay.
let us have them and we'll see what we can do to assist them to put a smile on their faces. Thank you so very much. From us, we all say bye bye. Dr. Oluwakemi, Dr. Ojo,
Dr.
bye
Kemi,
bye.
hope you have a good one.
Dr. Oluwakemi.
Bye, everyone.
Wish you
Thank
all the
Uh,
best.
you.
If you need
Thank
any
uh,
you. Thank
consultation,
you.
Okay, bye
Thank
please
you.
bye.
get some help.
Blessings, everyone. Looking forward to working with you guys. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Okay, Mana Santi.
I left our website on the bottom for you too, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
I
so
just I
okay,
just saw that now. I just saw that now.
Give
okay,
thanks. Thank you.
okay. Yeah, Game Anthony.
Ah, Game Up has an app. Really?
Okay, that's the website for Nehemiah's Foundation. So I'm putting up the website for Game Anthony.
Yeah.
Months after the successful conclusion of the inter-secondary school debate themed The Power of the Mind, a special ceremony was held to celebrate outstanding achievements and recognize those who contributed significantly to the success of the event. This gathering reaffirmed the commitment of organizers and stakeholders to promote academic excellence and youth empowerment.
It's a landmark event which was done out of absolute intention. One, to encourage this young generation to know that there is value in doing what is right, and particularly to let them understand that at this stage of their lives, what should matter to them most is their education, and to make them understand also that there is a lot that they have locked up inside of them that they need to explore to bring out the best in them.
As part of the prize for literary excellence, certificates were presented to outstanding students, while teachers and district officers under District 1 of the Lagos State Ministry of Education received certificates of recognition and honor for their dedication to academic excellence and mentorship.
I really want to thank GF's Nairobi Prestigious Foundation for the opportunity to be able to express ourselves, our mind, our emotions, speaking with different people. When you're in your school, you really don't know who you are, but meeting people like this, I'm really excited, and I want to say a very big thank you to them.
I'm so happy to receive the certificates of recognition. I'm also the mentorship program that is promised to our students. It is a very, very good step.
Good. It's lovely to be here, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. It's lovely to see all your beautiful faces. Oh, okay, can you hear me? It's lovely to see all your beautiful faces in front of me. And thank you to the principals for giving this opportunity to us. Okay, thank you for letting us be here to talk. It's a great honour and privilege for me to be here to speak in front of all of you today. Thank you for coming and attending. We won't keep you too long, but I just want to say, I'm Charlotte Ward. I'm the director of Recycle Bikes for Africa, based in the UK, and it's a great pleasure to be able to be working now with the GRA Foundation and be able to be sending bikes to Nigeria to be able to support students like yourselves, to give you hopefully better opportunities. As I say, I see in front of me lots of doctors, lots of nurses, lots of engineers. Where are you? Where are you, all of the people? Yeah? So you've all got great opportunities. You need to be able to grab that and take it and move forward, and hopefully by having access to a bicycle for those who need it most, we'll be able to enable you to get to school, to get here on time, to get a good education, to learn, to understand, to educate, and to then go on to have a great future ahead of you. So I'm really happy to be here, to be working. I say we've got the first container of bicycles coming out now. It's arrived in the port. We've got 500 bicycles on that container. And some of those bicycles will be coming to yourselves to help you. So hopefully when I come back here in a year's time or 2 years' time or 3 years' time, I'll be able to see you and meet you and talk to you and see how those bikes have helped you. And I look forward to that. So thank you very much. It's great to be here, and I hope to see you again very soon.
All right. I'm sure you heard Charlotte, right? Yeah! No! Yes! The yes have it. The yes have it. All right, can I
In a bid to motivate students and encourage them to strive for academic excellence, the Nehemiah Protege Foundation has taken the responsibility of organizing inter-secondary school debates annually. This year's edition has its theme, The Power of the Mind. The organizers, Joseph Adewale Youth Empowerment and Nehemiah Protege Foundation, says about 12 schools successfully participated in the competition.
With this competition among schools, it's a time to make them to bring out their worth.
The pursuit of us by this generation should not be guided by ethical principles, but whatever it takes to succeed. Now, the pursuit of us simply means the act of striving to acquire money, assets, or prosperity, while ethical principles and moral values, honesty, respect, fairness, that guide our actions and decisions.
Are we animals? Which life are we living? I still stand firm on my argument that the pursuit of wealth should be guided by our ethical principles. I hope I've been able to drive it through the sea of wisdom, that the pursuit of our wealth should be guided by our ethical principles. I take my vow. Thank you.
The event is also aimed at cultivating confidence, enhancement of public speaking skills, foster healthy competition, encourage research, and instill a sense of self-worth in public school students.
From the feedback we got, we saw that there's a lot of potential amongst our children that are still hidden. And we felt that let's provide a platform through which they'll be able to exhibit their talent.
I believe that you should have confidence in yourself.
Be bold, be brave, and you can do anything you want to do.
Started as a small fellowship. When I say fellowship, I mean we bring young people together, youth, teenagers, and we have a kind of a boot camp for them where we talk to them about the things that matters.
I think the organizer really did a very good job educating and impacting the teenagers, the students through debates, and also trying to bring out the best in them through public speaking.
And the winner is Girls Junior High School!
big thank you to Nehemiah Potigi Foundation. Say thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm very sure we learned a lot of things today. Yes or no? Yes. We learned a lot of things today. Let me see your hands up. Good, that is very good. Those at the back, didn't you learn something? Let me see your hands up. Very good. So you see, everything they've taught us today, I want us to put them into practice. What did I say? Put them into practice. There's an adage that says, action speaks louder than voice. What did I say? Everybody's here today. I am not the one. Let's take it into practice. We said something about examination malpractice, that we won't be involved in examination malpractice. Okay, today we are going to write our first periodic test. Let us take that into practice today. Anytime you see your friends partaking in examination malpractice, do not engage in it. You are not one of them. Be exempted from examination malpractice. That is one. Another one. We are here because we are punctual. Those who are still on the road, the latecomers, they've missed a lot of things. Yes or no? Everything we've learned today, they've missed a lot of things. By the time you are narrating what you've learned to them today, it won't be as the way he said it. Yes or no? There is going to be this ginger, the thing you've got from him. When you are narrating it to your friends, it's not going to be like that. So we learn to come to school. Learn to come to school. We are not just going to learn to come. We are not just going to say we are going to come to school early, but we are going to practice it. We are going to practice it. We are going to practice it. We are going to put it into action. We are going to put it into action. My chemistry teacher is always complaining about guys that has long time. She usually say this thing. When you go to a hospital, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's say a very big
to Mr. Mustafa Adinoyi Sulaiman, also known as Musti Adinoyi, CEO of Emrose Adinoyi Production, in acknowledgement of his philanthropic service and contributions to humanity.
This certificate is proudly presented to Musti Adinoyi in recognition of your contribution to the advancement of humanity and for your philanthropic service to the nation through the many lives that has been raised by your hands. Given this 26th day of September 2025. Congratulations.
The event was organized by the Nehemiah Protege Foundation in partnership with the Joseph Adewale Youth Empowerment Foundation. Continuing.
Tough mass creates tough characters. But you got to carry on. So when it gets tough, you gotta get tougher. When you're standing on your own 2 feet and the storm is coming in, you still gotta stand. And sometimes you just gotta stand alone. Greatness requires work. And hard work is how you get it. You don't give up because it's hard. You don't give up because it's challenging. You don't give up on you. Let the hard work begin. So when you're standing alone, make sure you stand with a pure heart.
Implement the nationwide ban on street hawking to enhance children's safety and to ensure their focus on education for a better future. I would like to start by defining the keywords in the motion. What is implement? Implement can be defined as the delivery of a program or service in a specific community setting. What is ban? Ban means an official prohibition or order that forbids something. What is enhance? Enhance means to improve something's quality, value, or attractiveness. What is education? Education is the process of learning and acquiring knowledge, skills, and understanding Firstly, based on the United Nations Children Fund UNICEF website, over 10.5 million children are out of school in Nigeria, which is the highest rate globally. Nonetheless, 14.7% are said to be out of school in Nigeria. Nonetheless, 14.7% are said to be girls in 2014 and have never set foot in school. Rather, they engage in hockey. Though the country is experiencing a deficit in educational infrastructure, other parents, particularly the northern region, prefer their children to engage in hockey rather than being in school. Secondly, the opposite behaviors of some parents have shown and exposed children's life to jeopardy. Undoubtedly, street hockey has humongous implications for children's physical and emotional well-being. It has, however, exposed them to sexual abuse, deaths, malnourishment, vehicle accidents, drug and substance abuse, prostitution, and so on. Arguments for banning street hockey. 1. Safety concern. Street hockey can pose significant risks to both hawkers and motorists. The presence of vendors on busy road can cause accidents and at times lead to death. Better alternative for banning street hockey in Nigeria. Training and education. Offer training program for street hawkers. Training and education. Offer training program for street hawkers on business management, food safety, and customer service to improve the quality of their offering and to enhance their business skills. In other words, at the commemoration of the World Women's Day, I want to implore as well as draw the attention of the federal government to the need to implement the act prohibiting children hockey and start of efforts to bring an end against violence in Nigeria. Nigeria is a signatory to the 1989 United Nations on the right of the child, which was established to protect children from any activity which negatively affect their health. Importance